So I guess you're not going to Todd's party on Friday.
Well, I can't now. Gwen's gonna be there.
Well, she should be the one that shouldn't go.
Well, if a couple breaks up and they had plans to go to a neutral place, who withdraws? What's the etiquette?
Excellent question.
I mean, I think she should withdraw. She's the breaker, he's the breakee. He needs to get on with his life.
I beg to differ.
Really?
So I guess you're not going to Todd's party on Friday.
Well, I can't now. Gwen's gonna be there.
Well, she should be the one that shouldn't go.
Well, if a couple breaks up and they had plans to go to a neutral place, who withdraws? What's the etiquette?
Excellent question.
I mean, I think she should withdraw. She's the breaker, he's the breakee. He needs to get on with his life.
I beg to differ.
Really?
Well, she should be the one that shouldn't go. If a couple breaks up and they had plans to go to a neutral place, who withdraws? What's the etiquette? She's the breaker, he's the breakee. He needs to get on with his life. I beg to differ. Okay, well, she, little problem, won that. And they, similar problems here. If, almost everybody wrote for. If a couple breaks up. It's a two-word verb. We need a verb here. It's not breakups, it's breaks up. Neutral, a lot of people miss that word. And etiquette, American pronunciation, makes that tough. So let's go back. Well, she should. So the first word is really, really tough, but it's very common. We don't say well. We say well. And it's actually very similar to this word. Well. Well, she should be the one. She should be the one. She should be the one. Say it with me. She should. No, nobody says that. Should. Very short. It's that schwa sound. She should be the one. She should be the one. And now we got one that. Now we've studied the strong sounds. The strong sounds, S, N, L. The weak sounds, D, T, T, H. And here, the N is canceling the TH, one that. And it actually kind of sounds like net, one that. Keep both N's, one that shouldn't go. Of course, the N is going to make the T weak, but we do keep the D. Shouldn't go, shouldn't go. Well, she should be the one that shouldn't go. Well, she should be the one that shouldn't go. Well, she should be the one that shouldn't go. Well, she should be the one that shouldn't go. One more time. Well, she should be the one that shouldn't go. And then this one. Once again, most people heard for. Listen again, and I'm sure you'll hear if. And Jerry says, if a couple breaks up. If. So the F does connect, but there's no R. There's no R here. If a couple breaks up. Okay, so listen again, and you should hear this properly. If a couple breaks up, and they. Now once again, strong N cancels the D and the TH, and it sounds like and they. Breaks up and they. We can have some connection. If a couple breaks up and they. And they, perfect pronunciation, and they, a little bit faster, and they, really fast, and they. If a couple breaks up and they had plans, he keeps the H, they had plans to go to a, so here the two is a t, and here the two is a two, okay? So plans to go, this is a schwa sound, two up. Now, there is a reason he says two, and it's almost always because this word begins with a vowel. If it begins with a consonant, like this is a consonant, it's usually a t or a d. But when the word begins with a vowel, it's usually a two, usually. And that's the case here. Plans to go to a neutral place, not a natural place, a neutral place. Who withdraws? A couple people missed this word, a little bit tough. Who withdraws? What's the etiquette? Now here once again, What's the? S can cancel both these, make them weak. But here we begin with a vowel, so we're going to say the. What's the? What's the? What's the etiquette? Etiquette. Now listen here. Etiquette. It's that flap T, which sounds like a D, the American D. Etiquette. And this, we don't say quet, it actually sounds like kit. Kit. Etiquette. 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 She's the breaker. Okay, now, if we have ER and if we have EE, what this usually means is a person. Okay? So, a player, a baseball player. Okay? It could be a person or it could be a machine. An employer. Okay? ER. An employee, person who works for the employer. So this type of a relationship, ER, EE, the ER is on top, the EE is on the bottom. Now, there is no word. Breaker, there is no word. Breaky, there is no word. Winner, there's a word. Loser, there's a word. We both use ER. So breaky, it's a new word. Employee, no problem. And there are other examples, and right now I can't think of anything. Now, they're making new words, okay? They're just creating new words. So, Mikhail asked the question, what's the rule? There is no rule. There is no word, okay? But in daily English, it's possible to make new words, and this is typical in a comedy show. So, unless you're a comedian, you'll never even think of these words. However, as an American person, not a comedian, these words would never occur to me, but if I heard them, I would understand. And remember, when she says it, when he says it, he's emphasizing. She's the breaker, he's the breakee. Okay? So he's emphasizing a special word meaning a person, the person who broke up, the initiator, the person who started the breakup, and he's the breakee, the victim, the person below. So she's on top, he's on the bottom. Employer, employee. Now I'm doing some explanation here, but it's important because if you look in the dictionary, you'll find breaker, but not that definition, but you won't find breakee, okay? So the native English speaker will know, oh, like employee, it's breakee with two E's, okay? So if you missed this word, don't worry about it. It's a non-existent word. It doesn't exist, but we can understand. As a native English speaker, I'll understand. Will I use it? No, probably not.